everyone, I'm Emma Lawton. I'm 40 years old, living in London, and I was diagnosed with Parkinson's at the age of 29, which is quite unusual for Parkinson's. There's a lot of us that have it at a younger age, but it's quite unusual still at 29. And at that point I sort of made it my mission to raise awareness of the condition going forward. It was something I felt very passionate about, and to basically continue my life as I had it planned. So I'm a campaigner. I share my story on social media, and I do talks, and I've written a couple of books as well, which is really exciting, a great process to be part of. I've done a couple of quite big blog projects in my life. I have a habit of deciding to do something for a year and then trying to stick to it. So I video blogged my life for 365 days to show what Parkinson's is really like. And then a couple of years ago, pandemic sort of scuppered us a little bit. I did something new every day, and the plan was to do something new every day for 365 days, but I think I did about 270 in the end. I featured in the BBC Two documentary The Big Life Fix, which was an incredible experience to have a piece of technology created just for me called the Emma Watch. Some of you may have seen it. It went viral at the time. And it actually helped me to write and draw again as a graphic designer for the first time in years, which was incredibly powerful and really made me see the power of technology as an enabler to people. And I really saw that shift. So the fact that it's human first and technology second, it's something that kind of supported me in the life that I wanted to have. I've won a number of awards for my speaking and for my engagements that I do. So I was CharityCom's Inspiring Communicator of the Year. I've been a 35 women under 35. I've been dubbed One to Watch by Wired magazine. I was shortlisted for Women of the Future. I've been a 5 times TEDx speaker. And I've been on stage with some fabulous people and done some incredible talks and been very, very lucky. I recently was given an honorary doctorate in design from the University of Greenwich, which was a huge honour. And I'm now co-founder of a tech startup called More Human. And basically that's something that I built a couple of years ago with 2 people that I met completely blind. We joined a program together and built a startup business together. And we're trying to make it easy for people to create events and communities using AI. So we're actually one of the first organisations being given money by the government to actually create and help people organise. So anyone can organise an event or build a community. So it's really exciting. When I'm not busy building my tech empire, I do stand-up comedy, would you believe it? It's something I sort of got into a number of years ago, and you may see my puppet in the background there, Edna. She's my sidekick, trusty sidekick. I'm not a ventriloquist, so she doesn't speak. But I really love sharing my story through sort of varied media. So I write articles for newspapers, blog and things like that. So I've written 2 books as well, so it feels very exciting to be able to share the things that I want to share in lots of different ways. I enjoy... depending on the audience, I enjoy sort of tailoring my talks to that audience. So I've done a number of festivals where I've used props, headpieces and things like that I've created from scratch, so crafted by myself for hours on end before, because I thought that was more appropriate than slides. So I basically sort of fit to what the client wants. And I try to do a different talk each time because I don't want to be someone that just churns out the same thing. My story is my story, but there's lots of different angles that I can put on it. And I think the really interesting thing is that I'm an entrepreneur first and I have Parkinson's second. In January this year, after 5 years of having a neck that basically dropped, so my head was on my chest, I couldn't see anything other than the floor and people's shoes, I realised that I needed to do something about this. I'd been pushing for years, and I had spinal surgery, major spinal surgery, and it was groundbreaking because it's the first time it had ever been done on someone with Parkinson's and a particular type of Parkinson's side effect called dystonia. So it's very, very risky, but I seem to be doing okay. I get a bit of pain sometimes, but it's an incredible experience to be able to be awoken again, to be able to make eye contact with people. That was the reason that I wanted to do it, because it felt like a really strong reason to do it. So I've learned a lot about resilience. During that time I built a startup, I did all these things that I've mentioned before. A lot of those were done actually during the time that I was looking at the floor. So I love to talk to people about resilience in the workplace, sharing your story with people in the workplace, how to do that, how to tell your boss that you have a difficult condition or something going on. But generally, I just like inspiring people, giving people confidence. I've done a number of talks on confidence. I have an incredible family who really support me in everything that I do. And I think because of that, I like to talk about the confidence that's given me and how to get that confidence and resilience and how to break really horrible, scary things down into lots of tiny little chunks so they're not scary anymore. That's the big thing that I love to talk about. And I love to talk to people about how they can continue to thrive and have brilliant jobs and relationships and things like that, even when something bad happens, because time doesn't stop for you. The world doesn't stop for you when something bad happens. It's terrible. You have to carry on paying bills and things like that. You have to carry on looking after your children if you have children. So I love talking to corporate businesses about things like that. It's really fascinating to kind of be able to have some sort of input into people's decision making around how they want to continue their life. I've done a number of talks with some really interesting companies, everything from sort of Microsoft through to, like I said, festivals. And I'm always myself at them, so colourful, honest, always get great reviews for the stuff that I speak about. And I'd love to come and talk to you in whatever capacity you feel would be best. So I can do after dinner speeches, just kind of, I can do stand-up comedy, that's another thing. So I really love kind of chatting with you and finding out what you want to achieve. What is it? What's your goal with these talks? And then I'll craft something specially that will work for you and what you want to achieve. So I would love to meet you, whoever you are that's about to book me. So yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video, and I hope we get to meet.